In The Phantom Menace, we see Darth Maul strike down Qui-Gon Jinn and thus ridding young Anakin Skywalker of a teacher. Trying to obey Qui-Gon's final words, Obi-Wan argues with Master Yoda about the future of the boy's training and master. Despite Obi-Wan presenting a convincing case, Yoda deems the future of Anakin too important to have his training left to only a Jedi Knight. With the boy's title being the Chosen One, Yoda assigns Anakin to the best teacher he could spare, Mace Windu. So here lies today's question: what if Mace Windu trained Anakin Skywalker? Mace Windu would take an entirely different approach to Anakin's training compared to Obi-Wan. Mace was not like other Jedi. He didn't just study the views and ideologies of the Jedi, but the Sith too. He used the knowledge of both the Jedi and the Sith to enhance his fighting, specializing in Form 7 fighting style, which is known as the most aggressive form of fighting. Perfect for Windu, except for the fact that it did not allow for his channeling of the dark side. So Windu created his own variant of Form 7 called Vipod, which used both the light and the dark side of the Force, and this is exactly what helped him become arguably the most powerful Jedi in the Order before it collapsed. Vipod even took him to the heights of defeating Emperor Palpatine. This is what made his lightsaber crystal turn purple. It felt the light and the dark and made balance, so created both. Blue and red makes purple, the light and the dark. Windu would see the amount of darkness within Anakin as they continue to train together. As a Padawan in the Order, Anakin was teased and bullied a lot from other kids because of the fact that he was being called the Chosen One, which not many believed considering a Sith hadn't been seen in over 1,000 years. Darth Maul did show up, but then for over a decade later, nothing rose from that encounter. Mace would show Anakin what he had learnt himself and how to control and harness his anger and power. Becoming the first student in Vipod under Mace's training, Anakin would grow into the most successful Padawan learner in the history of the Jedi. Learning to use his anger and emotion to his advantage, whilst always staying in the light and ideologies of the Jedi Order. And when the time came for the teenager to find his kyber crystal for his lightsaber, the color would not glow the same as in the normal timeline. The crystal, as it did Mace's, would recognize both the light and the dark side of the Force and would shine purple. Now both master and apprentice wielding purple blades. Anakin's training would go smoothly with little bumps for over a decade. Anakin and Mace would grow a special bond and trust in one another, a trust that was never formed in the original timeline, with Mace Windu not believing Anakin to be the Chosen One, and even feeling envious of the boy's raw power. That did not matter now. All Mace wanted was for Anakin to see him safe and powerful. When Padme Amidala arrives on Coruscant with a bounty on her head, Palpatine begins seducing Anakin by sucking up to him and telling him secrets and lies. Anakin will be given his first assignment of protecting her as they are sent back to Naboo. Being alone together for the first time in years, they would both fall in love with each other despite the rules of the Order being against this. After surviving the beginning of the Clone Wars, they would get married and begin their secret lives together. Anakin would begin to experience dreams of Padme dying in childbirth. Asking for guidance from Yoda, he tells him to let go of everything he fears to lose, which to Anakin is not an option. Palpatine continues to seduce him, telling him stories of Sith Lords saving those from death, explaining that he should not only look at the one-sided dogmatic views of the Jedi Order and experience a wider knowledge of the Force like the Sith do. Anakin's trust in the Jedi is shaken to the limit. Despite the immense trust and love Anakin has for his master, he loses faith in the Jedi Order. Palpatine sends Anakin thoughts that the dark side is stronger and reveals himself as the Sith Lord. Shocked by this information, Anakin tells the Chancellor that he is going to turn him over to the Jedi Order. Anakin rushes to Mace Windu and tells him of the information that he has learned. Instead of being told to stay at the temple, Mace tells him to join them as they arrest Palpatine. Because Windu trained Anakin and befriended him, he trusted him more than anyone else. He knew he could handle it, and even if the dark side tempted him, he had trained for this. When the 4 Jedi Masters and Anakin stormed the Chancellor's office, Palpatine ignited his blade and the duel began, quickly striking down the 3 Masters, leaving only Mace and Anakin left. He constantly pressures Mace, trying to end him so that only Anakin was left for him to seduce to the dark side. Palpatine moved faster than Anakin had ever seen a Force wielder. After long, Mace disarms the Sith Lord, kicking him to the ground, winning the duel. Palpatine attempts to motion Anakin to the dark side once more, claiming the Jedi were taking over, explaining that he would be able to save his wife from certain death. Anakin feels a pull to the dark. He thinks only of Padme. Turning to his master, he questions ending him there so that his wife may live. As Mace goes to finish the Sith Lord, Anakin remembers his training. Years of being taught how to manage his emotions had led to this moment. He shouts at his master to gain focus and to do things the Jedi way. Despite the one person with the power to save his wife being moments away from being slain, he uses his training to communicate with his master. With more trust in Anakin than ever before, he listens and they arrest Palpatine together, cuffing his hands behind his back. Palpatine will be tried in the court where he is found guilty of all crimes and is sentenced to life in confinement. After their nightmare is over, Mace shows Anakin what he has been seeking this whole time, the passage to the restricted section where he could learn more than ever, even how to save Padme from death. After Palpatine sold Anakin out about having a wife, the council did not expel him, but yet says that although they disapprove, some masters in the Order have families of their own. Luke and Leia are welcomed into the Jedi Order and are trained to become some of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. When Yoda and then Mace Windu both die of old age, Anakin takes over the Jedi Order, becoming the Grand Master. Their worst fears are all over, or so they thought. Thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed it. And as always, have a good day everyone.